So I set it up. I mean, Kim sent out the invitations, but my goal was to have Anthony talk to Jen and Amelia about what they need to do in order to do what Bang did to get the Facebook app going so that this Obit product would work. So I don't know. How do you feel about that, Anthony? What would you like to do?
We went back and forth on creating this, and when I spoke with Mark last when we set this up, he had to get access, I believe, it's been a while now, to make some changes, but who has like admin access to this whole page?
You're asking me who has admin access? So Julie, I think Bang is using you because you get the emails from Facebook, is that right?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so I'm assuming it's Julie.
Okay, so everything's happening on our end because I can't even see what she's doing on her end.
You can't see what Julie's doing on her end?
No, because it's not under, which account is this under?
I don't know. Julie, what account is the Facebook product under?
It's under, it's on the Ad Taxi umbrella, but it says, I'm trying to find an email to get there because I have no reason to go there because everything runs.
Can I jump in for a second, guys?
So, yeah, please go ahead.
I think what we're talking about now is the fact that Facebook requires the app to be reviewed, and you have to tell them what it's being used for, and they need to approve it. So Bang is already set up. I think what Bang needs to do is go through that review process. But when we were on the call with Kat and Anthony, myself and James, there was an issue trying to start the review process.
Okay, so there's two things going on. There's Bang going through the review process, but my goal for this call is to get Jen and Amelia up to where Bang is so they can get this product going. So how do we do that? Does that make, didn't you set this up originally, Anthony?
We set this up, but it's under a different account. It's the, they have their own account. I don't think I have access to it though, but I'm gonna have to double check that. Let me grab my laptop. I'll double check to see that we're actually talking about the same account because I was under the impression that this was a different account for, is this who?
This is for, to enable Facebook ads to flow out of iPublish onto Facebook.
Right, so
with targeting.
Yeah, so each of these accounts though have their own, they had their own Facebook page. I mean, they had their own account that did the billing and all that kind of stuff, and where the ads came from. So my understanding with this one is that it's under a new account.
Right.
Does anyone know?
So it's typically, you know, this is where Mark Malloy and I are flying a little blind. I work with another enterprise where they have a centralized Facebook department and they manage all that. It doesn't sound like that's the case here for DFM. You guys have different, each market has their own Facebook Business Manager account. Is that a correct statement?
That's correct.
Okay, so we can definitely leverage best practices that were gained by Bang going through this, but you know, the Denver Post is going to have to go through, and the other DFM markets are going to have to go through this in each market. At a high level, what ends up happening is, and we have, as you're seeing on the screen, we have an integration documentation that walks the admins through a step-by-step process of establishing a connectivity to the Business Manager account from Ad Portal. In order for that to happen, you know, there has to be a system user that's created. There has to be an app that's created. Access to the app has to be granted. An ad account has to be created. and that's really, and then those app IDs and secret, there's a app secret code that has to be delivered to us. Mark Malloy will is the key person that kind of establishes those connections into the Facebook Business Manager account, and then we can start testing it. Since we've gone live with Bang, Facebook has come in because of some things that they've had in terms of, and I'm sure all of y'all have seen that. They're now requiring the app to go through an approval process. They've, at first, they set a deadline of October the 23rd, 2019. They have since lifted that date and have extended it into early 2020. They haven't said exactly what the final date's going to be. So the good news is that we can move forward by following, Denver can move forward by following the guidelines in this implementation handbook that we've delivered. And then we will be we'll continue dialogue with you guys as we flesh out the app approval process. It seems to be ever changing, so you know, I've got an engineer other than Mark involved in it, and our president of the company has some inside connections into Facebook. So we're trying, Facebook is, some of you may know this, they're not always as clear in their communication, nor are they as responsive when you have questions about some of the things that they're saying have to be done. So I think that's where we're at. So whoever's from the Denver market, we can walk through setting up the access to their business manager account.
Yeah, that's Jen, Brian, and then Amelia Carlo for SC&G. I want to do both of them at the same time. So that's why they're both on the call.
So Denver's done.
Oh.
So we set up, Denver was set up, I can't remember how long ago, but initially for real estate. And then just a day or two ago, we got an ad account for Obits using the same business manager, which is fine. So we have their test ad portal talking to Facebook.
Oh, great. Well, what's the next step on Denver then?
So the next step on Denver is to start testing, making sure everything's okay. Also on the real estate side, make sure that's still working correctly. And then you'll have to, at some point, submit the app for approval.
Okay, which is what Bang has to do too. So who's doing the testing? Is that Mary Coulter? Is that Justin, somebody else on Justin's team? Who's doing testing for Denver?
So we can help on the ad portal side, but we can't, we have no visibility into your business manager. So somebody on your end will need to go in and say, yeah, everything's okay, or, you know, this is wrong, or whatever.
Okay, so Mary or Justin, do you want to comment on your end of it?
Well, I would need the link that I need to use to test. And I think Jen would have to help follow through on the back end of it, or to see if it's processing through. I'm not sure. Jen, are you still there?
Yeah, Jen, are you on audio?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay. What about what Mary just said? Is there a link?
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely watch it on the back end.
Okay.
Okay. So I would just need the link for the test site to start testing it.
Does that sound good, Jen?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Denver's further ahead than I realized, so nice job. I think Jen said she had been working on it, so that's great. So that brings us to, oh, James just sent a link via the chat. So there you go.
Yeah, so I don't think we're ready on this end to start testing yet. We need to do a bit more setup. Diana's working on that. So Mary, Diana will probably reach out to you when she's finished the last setups.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? This is Amelia at SENG. Are we going to need to do, since we have 11 pubs, are we going to need an ad account for each one?
No.
No.
No, we'll create a Facebook publication within the ad portal that all the print pubs will use.
They all roll up into one?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
so just one ad account, and then get the app approved. That's set up. Okay. I'll just have to go through the instructions.
Okay, so next step, Amelia, for SENG is you're going to go through the instructions and then reach out to James and Mark with questions. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then
I have to prioritize some time to work on this since we've got a lot going on. So.
Oh, I know. I've got a lot on your plate. So that sounds good. So have we covered Amelia or Jen? Well, it sounds like Denver's all set. But Amelia, do you need James or Mark to go through anything in the document that they have up on the screen during this call? Or
I mean, probably not, because I haven't even looked at it yet, so I don't have any questions. So I just, I kind of need to go through it, and then if you guys want to, let's go for it. But this is even just the iPublish is very new to me, so I just need to kind of dive in and learn more about exactly how this is going to function. But I can always reach out with questions once I'm there. But if you guys want to run through it, go for it. But
no, it's up to you. Maybe it's best for you to look at the document and then reach out with questions. So and we have Anthony here, since you already went through a version of that document in the setup, could Amelia reach out to you with questions?
Sure. Yeah, okay. Definitely. We can definitely take a look into any of our setup. So if you have questions, then we can give you some screenshots or whatever. I think Kat provided some, but if there's anything specific as you go through that document, feel free to reach out.
Awesome. And this is Justin?
This is Anthony Mata, M-A-T-A.
Oh, sorry. Anthony. Okay.
Anthony up at Bang, he works with Kat. You probably interacted with them. Awesome.
Mary, do you want to take the screen? I got a request from Mary.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's so weird. I got a request saying you want to take the screen. That's not right. Okay, sorry about that.
I'm taking over.
A thing popped up. I thought you were going to show the group something. So, okay, James is back.
No.
Okay. Mary's saying no photography, please. I think that was her.
Please, no.
Yeah. Okay. So, are we good then? Let's go through it. So Bang, Anthony, you're going to talk to Kat, and then you're going to wait. Let me make sure I got this right, James and Mark. You guys are still trying to figure what Bang needs to do on the new approval process, or is there something for them to do right now?
Yeah, when we were going through, we have a separate appendix for the approval process that's not included in the manual that you're showing here. I sent them some screenshots earlier, and when we started to get into it, there was some access issues that we were having to make a request for the app review. But I think Mark and I can handle that with Anthony and the other gal that was working on it.
Yeah. Catherine Bush.
Yeah, we started to make the changes that were sent over, and then Mark said, I believe it was Mark that said not to do it yet because we still had to get it approved, and once it did, then we would make the changes on our side.
Does that sound right, James? Mark?
I don't think there's any changes that need to be made. I think we just need to.
I think it was an app.
We were going through it with Kat, and Kat needed to reach out to Anthony because Kat didn't have enough privileges to the app to be able to submit the app review request. Am I remembering that right, Mark Malloy?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I can follow up with Kat on that.
Okay.
Okay. So that's Bang. Denver, my notes say that Diane will reach out to Mary when she's ready to have her do testing. Is that right?
Diana, yep. Diana Richardson, yep.
Diana Richardson, sorry. And then SCNG, Amelia's going to read the documentation and reach out to either Mark or James at iPublish or Anthony, depending on what her question is. Or Anthony and Kat, depending on what her question is.
Yep.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Okay. We've got Carla and Julie on, as well as Justin. They're the owners of the revenue stream that this affects. Do you guys have any questions?
This is Carla. I don't. I will keep in contact with Amelia, though, and see if there's anything that I can also help with.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Nope.
Question. What is the, when would you guys like this project to be completed? I know that you said that we have until early 2020, but is this something more urgent, like by the end of the month? We should, get this going. I just want to.
Well, I think, who's asking that?
Amelia.
Sorry. Amelia,
Okay.
yeah. So Mark Malloy and I will continue to work with Anthony and Kat, and we're hoping to blaze the trail to make it easier for the subsequent markets to go through the app approval process. So that's not as immediate as just getting the integrating your iPublish ad portal with a business manager account in your market. And we're hoping by the time, that gets done, we will have more of a trail blazed to get the app approved.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, we'll get that done soon, getting the iPortal integrated into the business manager. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Anything else from anybody?
No.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And thanks for recording this for Kat, who couldn't join. So, but Anthony will talk to her and fill her in anyway. So.
Absolutely. It's good that the more we share this information, the easier it'll get for everybody. I totally think this is a good idea. So thank you.
No,
Yeah, thank you for organizing this.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Mark. Keeping everybody in, because it is, again, because you guys aren't centralized, it's really important we share these practices as things evolve. So I'm really pleased. Thank you, everyone, for helping. So really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.